Hey everyone, welcome to Echoes from the Basement, an X Files podcast. I'm your host Alice, and this week grab your flashlights and video cameras. We're going monster hunting. From the shadowy lagoons to the endless forests, each week we will track down a famous cryptid. Now keep your cameras steady, your flashlights on, and whatever you do, don't wander off. You never know who is watching you. This is Shadows from the Basement. You drive alone at night, speeding down a lonely highway after a long shift. No cars, no lights, no music, just you and the open road. And then boom, a flat tire. Great, you think to yourself, you pull over, pop the trunk, and begin to work. That's when the hair on your back of your neck stands up. Someone or something is watching you. You look around and see swampland surrounding you. Slowly, footsteps start to approach you. Thump, thump. Then you see them, two glowing red eyes, cut through the darkness. From the swamp, slowly, a towering humanoid creature emerges. It's watching you. Sweat pours down your face. You jump in your car and speed away, but it follows. Pounding footsteps quicken right behind you. Claws sink into the top of your roof as it leaps onto your car. You swerve, fighting for your life until it tumbles back into the swamp. You think you've escaped, but in Bishopville, North Carolina, the shadows tell a different story. This is the Lizard Man. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm back after a 3-month hiatus. Yippee! Yippee! Anyway, I have a co-host here this time around. This is my husband.
Hey everybody, nice to meet you. I am the lovely husband. Thank you so much, Alice, for having me on your podcast. It feels great to be here, talking about some spooky stuff. I know it's not October anymore, but I feel like all year round you can be talking about stuff like this. Really cool story about the lizard man. I really enjoyed hearing about him. Just to let you know, I did write down some questions on my notepad, and I hope you can answer all of them because I have a lot of questions about this mysterious creature.
Did you write down questions?
Well, I just, I you told me that we were gonna be talking about the lizard man, and to be honest, I don't really know that much about him. All I know is that it's a lizard man. So I mean, yeah, just a couple of questions. Do you want to answer them now, or do you want to like try to answer them after you tell me a little bit more about him?
Here's our game plan. I'm going to tell you the story and the lore behind the Lizard Man, and then whatever questions I don't answer, I will answer them at the end.
Okay, that sounds good. I think you may be answering some of them when you share some more details on the lizard man. But yeah, go take it away. Is there anything else you want to talk about? You want to just talk about like recent events or anything like that? We could talk a little bit about how we just recently went out and apparently everybody's out shopping for some reason. Driving and going out shopping has just been like absolutely insanity, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was awful today. It was very overwhelming. I think we had a good Halloween though. We passed out a lot of candy and the hats that I made.
Yeah, I want to say so we live in a neighborhood and normally I think it was last year we had a couple of trick or treaters, which was pretty cool, but this year, oh man, this year we had a bunch of people and we had like these party favor hats, right? Yeah, we had these party favors hats and but we were like want to get rid of these. They're just kind of collecting dust in our house. So I'm like, it was honestly Alice's idea. She's like, what if we just gave these away? And then yeah, we just started giving them away to the point where like they became super popular and people were coming just for them. Halloween was pretty cool, of course. This household loves and celebrates Halloween. So I think yeah, this year was a success. Can't wait to see how next year's gonna look like.
It was pretty fun. I found another dog on the way home and returned him back to his family.
Talking about today, yeah, we I think we were just driving back from like shopping and stuff like that, and out of the corner of her eye, I think she just saw like a dog who's just eating he's eating trash. Yeah, so like I know Alice told you guys about a dog that we found like I think it was a couple months ago. His name is Brutus. He was eating from the garbage can. I don't know what it is with dogs just eating garbage can and that's how we find them, but yeah, this is the second dog that we found just eating out of the trash can. So kind of crazy. But I think this is a good segue to get started with the lizard man, right? I mean, definitely want to hear a little bit about him. So take it away.
All right, before we get into the story, I'm shouting out our sources. The first one I used was The Lizard Man of Scape or Swamp by G. Wetzel and The Legend of the Lizard Man Horror in Rural Carolina by Leslie Hamilton. All right, so the lore starts with a young man named Chris Davis. During the summer of 1988, Chris was driving home from a late night shift at McDonald's. He heard a loud boom and left his car to investigate. Turns out he had a flat tire right outside Scrape or Swamp. Chris gets his tools from the trunk, a new tire, and starts getting to work. As he was changing the tire, he felt scared. Someone or something was watching him. He glances back and forth every second looking for someone, but he doesn't really see anything. Once the new tire was placed, Chris heard someone or something running on the asphalt. He looks over and a huge, glowing red-eyed, scaly creature with 3 toes emerged from the swamp. The teenager, 17 at the time, throws himself and the tools in the car, puts his foot on the gas, and races out of there. Chris looks out his rearview mirror, and the monster is right behind him. The lizard man jumps on top of his car and latches on. The teen swerves, trying desperately to get the creature off. His side mirrors are ripped off by the lizard man during it, but soon Chris's plan works, and the lizard man loses his footing and falls off. Chris then drives all the way home and can't even speak to his parents. He is too terrified. After an hour, Chris's parents persuade him to share what had happened. The young man tells us the story about the lizard being he encountered. His parents must have believed it though because they went to the police station to report it. Even though Chris was hesitant about telling the police what had happened because he was in fear that nobody would believe him. Sheriff Truesdale and Lucen took the incident seriously. Sometime later, locals near Scrape or Swamp saw something. A creature who was ripping off and chewing bumpers, attacking cars, and doing other crimes. And this person left a three-toed footprint at one of the crime scenes. The two officers took every claim seriously and investigated each and every one. The town went crazy over their first cryptoid. A radio station offered $1 million for the lizard man, which was never claimed. News stations and reporters all over the globe were visiting this area just looking for a glimpse of the lizard man. Then, in 2019, a new group was formed named Friends of the Lizard Man, a committee determined to keep the legend of the lizard man alive. This creature brought new excitement and tourism into the town, and every year, the Friends of the Lizard Man host events, parades, gives activities to celebrate this cryptoid. New tourists arrive every year for Stomp. It's an event named after the imprint of the lizard man's foot in the swamp to share the festivities as well. They have food trucks, live music, vendors, and everything. All thanks to the lizard man.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't really know that much about the lizard man, but I think, yeah, if I was driving near a swamp and I had a flat tire, I think I would just call AAA. I don't think I would get out and start changing that thing. I honestly really like this event. I think it sounds pretty cool. I'd never heard about it. Maybe one day, if we're in the area, we can like do a bit more information and see if we can attend one of these lizard man festivities. I bet there's some cool snacks. I'll tell you that much. And I bet a lot of people have like stories and like probably sightings on like the lizard man. But one of my first questions I'm gonna ask you, Alice, is listen, this story took place in the 80s, right? Lizard Man was probably at his peak right now. He was probably like a young man, probably like, hey, get the heck out of my swamp, you know, like you're trespassing, which honestly, I get it. I get it. However, we're like 2026 almost. I think Lizard Man's like a senior citizen now. You think he's like old and like get out of my swamp still, but you think he ages like that, or how do you think like the lizard man, if he's real, you know, how do you think he like ages? You think he's like forever young, like beautiful, or you think he like is a senior citizen lizard man now?
The age, I think the legends just keep them alive.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Mothman uses some pretty good moisturizer. All right, listen, I'm just saying, lizard man, he's probably old now. But then again, don't lizards like live to like a really long time? I've never seen like a Komodo dragon look kind of old and ugly. I don't know. I feel like that's something you need to. But he's also, you gotta imagine, he's part man. I mean, so is Mothman, but I don't know. I feel like Lizard Man would like be more man than lizard. Like, I'm picturing like a man that just has scales, but I don't know. I don't know. That's something to think about. Another question is like, what do you think he eats? You think he eats like fish, like birds, or you think he like actually eats humans?
I imagine Lizard Man differently. I imagine he's just a lizard that just walks on 2 legs, like us. Like, he literally just looks like a Komodo dragon just standing up. But he probably eats, like, fish, small animals, whatever else he can find in the wild, I'm not sure if he could really take on a human. I mean, unless he can, but we don't know. He's only been sighted, like, only a couple of times, maybe only once.
That's interesting. So you're saying he was cited in the 80s, right? Does that mean that the lizard man voted for Reagan? I'm just saying. We could check his voting records. Do you think he even like has like a social security card or anything like that? You think like if Lizard Man like was like, you think he just stays out of it? He's like, man, that's too much of a headache. I'm not even gonna worry about politics. Like you guys can just deal with that and like the total like human side. And it's like, or you think he like there's like lizard politics? You think there's like, you think like he has, or you think maybe he's like he's running for Lizard Man like Congress or something like that. You never know. There's a whole world that might be out there. Or you think he just kind of chills out. He doesn't really do much.
I don't think any of that. I literally think he just hangs out in that swamp, and that's pretty much it for him. Like, he's still like, part lizard. I don't know if he's, like, that cognizant of, like, things like that. I think he literally just hangs out in the swamp, and is, like, kinda like when you see, like, crocodiles and alligators when you try to, like, pull up on them and they come out after you. I think it's like that. I literally think he's just, like, a lizard that stands on 2 legs.
Yeah, you may be right. But I don't know. I think the lizard man gets a little crazy with it, you know? You think he ever like goes like, "Ah, man, I really want a bucket from KFC. I'm just gonna like, you think he owns like a car or anything like that? You think he just gets in like a car? Is like,
No, he doesn't try no, babes, he doesn't drive, he doesn't get in the car, he probably just eats whatever people throw off the highway.
but then you do in that case, okay. If he just eats like whatever people throw off the highway, do you think there's a chance that somebody has thrown like a bucket of KFC or just like I don't know, it was in the car and somebody's bumped it off like through their window or something like that? Yeah, you think there's a remote chance that the lizard man has eaten KFC? Yes or no?
Yes, 100% he's eating KFC.
Do you think this is chicken or also like the mashed potatoes with gravy?
I definitely think he eats the chicken whole, period, bone and all.
No way. You're saying he just like he grabs the whole thing and just yum in one bite? That's a whole bucket, dude. Like that's a lot. Like most I mean, I guess he is a lizard man, so that makes sense. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Is there any other like details you want to share with the lizard man?
I think this is really it. I think with the discovery of like when you have a cryptoid in your town, it brings like a lot of business, it seems. The last one that I did was Mothman, and it seems like the festival that they throw every year from him brings in like a ton of tourists and a ton of like touristy money. So it's like it seems like every time like a small town is like, we have our very own cryptoid come to town, we have do all these events and stuff like that. It brings a lot of money like into the town and helps like the local economy, which I think is pretty cool.
That's really cool. I've never even thought about it that way. I feel like every town should have like, their own little cryptoid. Every like state and every town should have a little cryptoid. And I mean, maybe they will get enough and they can have like a Miss Universe type of situation, but with cryptoids. Could you imagine how cool that would be? Oh, now not online polls.
You want a
I
beauty
want,
pageant for monsters?
it's not a beauty pageant. I think it's more like, what are your, what are your views on world hunger type of situation, like, I think we can just like get,
Do you think the lizard man speaks English? Like, do you think he knows words?
what language do you think he speaks?
Lizard?
Lizard. I think they speak English. I don't know. Actually, that's a good
I think
question.
the
Dove. I don't know. Okay, maybe the Miss Universe like type contest would not. I don't.
dog does, but he speaks.
Do you think Bigfoot? Okay, well that's another episode to cover more about freaking the Sasquatches and all. But back to man. Look, final thoughts. I think Lizard Man would be cool, but I don't think he'd be as cuddly or like mysterious as the Mothman. I think most people think of Lizard Man and they think of like, like Spider Man, like they have a reptile man or anything like that. But I don't know. I think it's cool. Town did you say this was at again? I think you said it was like the Carolinas, right?
And second, I should be able to get the town up. I think it's called Bishopville.
Bill.
Bishopville, or I'm sorry, I said North Carolina. It's South Carolina. This
Okay, okay. Bishopville, South Carolina. I think I've actually. I mean, I know I've definitely been to South Carolina before, but I didn't see no lizard man. Until next time, I guess, huh?
yeah. Do you have any more questions, concerns about Lizard Man?
I don't know, let me check my notes. Let me see if I have anything else written about Lizard Man.
Anyway, while we fill this time as he's looking through his notes, I want everybody to know thanks for listening, all you truth seekers, abductees, and X-Files enthusiasts. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the show. And remember, the truth is out there. You just have to find it. And don't forget to follow us on Echoes from the Basement on Instagram and on TikTok. We'll see you next time.